2013, I turned 40. So I sat down and I was thinking, and I said to myself, Aisha, you are the problem of Nigeria. I grew up an angry teenager, very angry at the country because things weren't working. There was a lot of corruption, bad governance, maybe military era. And so, I was really mad at my parents and adults and the fact that they were quiet while things were being done. So on my 40th birthday, I realized that I had become the adult that I used to be angry at. And so I said to myself, I can't afford to keep quiet anymore. Initially before, I've always been vocal. So anyway, my first protest was actually in 1992, my first semester in the university. Remember when I was going, my parents said to me, don't participate in any protest. Anything they are doing, they are like, yes. But of course, if you enter here, to come. And so I went in there was something we did, our protest, the school was shut down, and I came back home. But I had to focus on my financial independence. Why? Because I grew up poor. I grew up in a place called Kona. Is anyone from Kano here?
Yes, I forget.
You know Kona? All this English, when I forget, I will drop. So in Kano, as somebody from Kona, she sees me and I tell her I'm from Kona, she should be afraid of me. Because it was the hood. Anyway, you want her in So it was a place where by the time I was 11, all my friends were married off. I had no girlfriend. And I got married at the age of 24. All of them were grandmothers. And 70% of the youth were actually on drugs. So it was a place where someone would say to you, a young man or a young woman, my age, would say to you, can you please borrow me 300 naira? I will pay you the next riot. So that was my reality. And I knew how, because we were poor, and we were from the wrong side of the state, of the town, we were nameless, faceless, and voiceless. We weren't seen as human beings. I was fortunate to go to a private secondary school. So for you to have a contest of it, it was 300 naira, my school fees per term. My sister who went to a government school, her school fees per session was 25 naira. So my parents had nothing, but every year when they would pay my father dividends, he would put everything and ensure that he pays my school fees. So the reason why I'm sitting down here and I can speak with you in English is because I went to that private secondary school. If you see me and my siblings, there's a huge difference in terms, and education made the difference. So before I go to that why, so for me that's the reason why I say in Nigeria today, access to good quality education is dependent on the economic status of one's family, and that's a crime. You understand? Because education is the easiest way to break the shackles of poverty. So I grew up hungry, angry. I grew up in the ghetto, but I read a lot. And I knew there was a world out there, and I wanted to be part of the world. And even though they told me that I couldn't be part of that world, I refused to listen to them. And I was so determined. So after I finished secondary school, I didn't care about Nigeria. I didn't focus on Nigeria. I focused on how do I grow and ensure that I'm financially independent. By the time before I was 40, I was already financially independent. So I was sitting down and thinking, and I said, Aisha, by being a passive citizen, you are the problem of Nigeria. And I said from that day, so my why is I decided I will no longer be voiceless. Circumstances of my birth made me voiceless, but as an adult, I have the choice whether to remain voiceless or to have a voice. And so 4 months after my 40th birthday, Chibok girls abduction happened. And I came out. And on the 30th of April, 2014, was the first time that I came out and focused on Nigerian issue. When I came out on Nigerian issue, I didn't see anybody that looked at me. And a lot of people thought I couldn't even speak English because I wear the hijab. That's the first thing people assume about you. When they see you wearing the hijab, you're not educated and all of that. And so I didn't wait for anyone to give me a voice. I didn't wait for anyone to give me a seat at the table.